Hello! Hopefully we're live! Welcome back to Roll Inc. If we are! It would be fantastic if we had video, sound, all of it. You might notice today things are weird. Things are a little different. I'm getting thumbs up that we are indeed live. So, as you might notice, our DM is away and without a strong internet connection. So we are here to bring you a special episode where we just hang out with you all and talk D&D, talk about some character stuff, just chill, generally get a good vibe going. So some things up at the top, some reminders. You can always subscribe to the Dice Cult with your Twitch Prime account if you can. Love to have your support. As always, we want to interact with you, clearly, because we're going to ask to interact with you during the stream. But also you can come over to Twitter, @_Roll Inc. That's @_ROLLINC. And ask us questions if you think of them later. This is a great time if you have missed episodes or you are just tuning in and you have no idea what's going on. You can go over to our YouTube page and watch some of our episodes all the way from the beginning of our campaign over at the Dice Cult. As always, if you want to follow us on any of our socials, you can find our social media links with !social in the chat. So as always, you're gonna smash that follow button, hit that subscription, settle in for some D&D talk. Usually I just turn this over to Matt here and I get to stop talking. However,
no, keep going.
This is great. Thank you.
I think we can just listen to
I'm
you.
just turning on my this is why I podcast and I teach. I just talk all over the place. So how this is going to work, as I'm seeing some people in chat. Hello. We are going to have a variety of questions, from just general our feelings as players of D&D questions, some general life questions to hang out, and then some actual character specific stuff. We have a list that we are going to be rolling dice for, and of course if you guys should have I got distracted by the dog. I'm so sorry.
Yes,
Me too.
I haven't even been paying attention. This dog is here. And he's...
The
Sorry,
dog
what
is
were we
more
doing?
important than me.
I was trying to figure out how to point on stream to get the right, and it was wrong
Which
every
one?
time.
I think he's up here for me. Okay.
What?
So yeah, we're gonna be rolling for some questions. If you guys have questions for us, just let us know in chat who it's for, if it's for all of us or one of us or whatever, and we will try and pick those up as soon as we finish one of the other ones. So I think Ray had the best idea, and we should all roll for initiative for interrogation. You get to decide what your initiative modifier is personally.
I have my
And
dice
roll.
with me. Fuck.
Oh, my dice is in a bag that I have to get up for. I'm just gonna roll with Google. Google has a great dice roller. We are not sponsored, but Google, hit us up if you want. I will
Yeah, Google.
absolutely. Look, it can happen.
Oh.
We are gonna have dog questions. We're gonna have dog questions apparently.
I rolled a nice one.
Could you guys ask, this is an opportunity for you to come up with some questions for the dog. Just, if you just direct it towards the dog, post it to chat, you'll see me ask him live.
Perfect. We love that. I rolled a solid 11. Should I be writing this down? I don't have my
Maybe we
notebook
put them
for
in the Zoom chat so we
Who
can
keeps
keep
track of initiative?
GMs. Which we don't have. We're doing this all on our own. I'll
We
take out
are
one of
together
my...
the ultimate DM. That's what
Oh, look at
someone
us.
else there said.
Oh my God.
We are.
We got a 1
Um,
and a 2 so far.
I'm
got
not gonna
11.
put mine in chat because then it'll pop up over people's faces. I'm gonna guess. Yep.
Oh yeah, you can
Oh,
say
that
yours,
was
then I can
bad.
type it.
Well, that was
Yeah.
bad. Close. There we go.
Hey.
It's fine. It's back to normal.
Fine.
We have a dog question, and that dog question
Whoa.
is woof 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 arf 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 good boy pup woof.
Thank you.
Oh.
It's
Look,
goodest.
I'm
goodest
just doing
Well-
what chat says.
Nico. The chat has a question for you. Wait, what? Don't leave me.
You're out of here.
Oh
Woof
no, you're
woof.
being abandoned.
Arf arf. Bow wow, was it? I don't know.
Goodest pup woof.
Oh.
You are the goodest pup. Yes,
Best
you
I
are.
could do.
Oh, I really appreciate watching you typing in the questions, Scott. Clearly, we're gonna have a great time today.
Yes.
Did everyone roll? I have Zoom
16.
so far. 16. Okay, so
Oh, we
1,
were
2,
almost
11,
in order.
18, 16.
Oh, so close.
Oh.
Okay, so we just know it'll go. I was about to call everyone. Do we care what names we call people? Do you want character names, real names?
I go
I'm gonna
by
mess it up.
Herdler in real life, so I would
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay.
It's
to
Mr.
me that way.
Herdler,
Sir Herdler.
the third.
Yes.
Sir Herdler the third.
Esquire.
Okay,
Wonderful.
Professor Doctor, sir.
Esquire.
Oh,
Don't forget Esquire.
Sergeant, Captain.
Lieutenant Major.
Lord
All
of
right.
the Three
Okay,
Kingdoms.
let's get to questions. Questions.
Yes. So we're gonna go Herd, Caden, me, Olivia, Magda. I feel like it can be roller's choice for if you want to do a personal question or a character question. I think I know what Herd's gonna pick. But we have a wonderful list of questions, and so we can roll a dice. If you're using the personal questions, it goes up to 30. The character question goes up to 100. So just roll appropriate dice. I'm using online, so it's easier, but that is entirely up to you.
Wait,
Herd,
how do you
get
roll
to pick.
30?
So I'm going
You-
first. I asked somebody a question. Is that correct?
You can either you can ask the whole group, you can ask just yourself. I feel like we can do this popcorn style if you want. Is you can either pick a person or pick everyone.
All right.
And
Your
have
teacher
us
is showing.
answer. I
All
know.
right.
I'm going into
Style,
I'm going into teacher voice, and it's a problem.
So I'm directing my question to Magda, and it's actually not a
Okay.
question. It's please describe your relationship with my character in the game.
Okay.
Oh, I wonder where that question idea came from.
Yeah.
We were just talking
Um,
about before. Yeah, go.
Magda thinks Herd is very silly, but very sweet.
Well,
I think she's a little baffled by him for the most part, in terms of doesn't really know what he wants, doesn't really know much about him, but she likes him.
All right. All right.
That's good.
Well, that's
What-
my question.
Do you want all of us to answer that? Or
Sure.
just Magda?
Yeah. How do you guys feel about my character? About the big bugbear with the difficult name to pronounce by design.
Should we go by initiative?
Yes. So, how does Caden feel about Herd?
about Herd, I think that right now, I think that Herd is a little bit difficult to understand most of the time. Tends to. I'm worried that he's gonna kind of hijack this party's focus on things. That said, he has shown he's good, capable in a fight, and seems to keep his sisters a little level, which is good. That's Caden.
It's debatable.
I suppose I forgot that we can do this in character. Like that's within our power.
The power of
I have all.
imagination.
Yes.
We are our characters. I mean, Clara, it's Herd's her brother. Probably a little bit weirder because you're older than Clara, and she was. I don't remember. We'd have to look at the Google document to remember how old we were when you left and Clara was alive.
Yeah, I think we got to be like 15 years apart at least. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was about the age difference that we got down to. Luckily, elf mom means that doesn't matter so much. But yeah, I think like Clara definitely has a better relationship with Herd than Olivia. I think that's pretty clear. But doesn't particularly enjoy the probing questions that she knows is due to love. but also she does not want to answer a lot of those questions. So, like, love, frustration, general family vibes. I feel like that's how Clara feels about Heard right now.
And Olivia.
All right. First of all, I did look it up. You were correct. You're 15 years apart from Heard. I don't know how you got that. I am 13 years apart.
I have the what is it? The keen mind feat, or at least. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Maybe Meg
I
actually has that. Never mind.
believe
I'm getting this
you.
mixed up.
All right. He asks way too many questions and cares about feelings. He's got the wrong priorities. Doesn't seem to care that he lost his job that much, which is ridiculous. I don't know. Spends most of his time with Clara, so I don't talk much. He insists that we go on coffee like once a month, which I try to get out of, but it never works. But yeah, he's mostly reliable, so that's great. And he heals people, so that's cool. And he was a good brother when our mother wasn't there, so somebody had to stick around. Scene. Alrighty.
Okay.
What's next?
I think Heard has to describe his relationship with himself.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
Oh no,
How does Heard?
and we're charging by the hour
No.
for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we are.
boy.
Just a reminder, chat, if you do have a question, preface it with all capitals chat so that we can see it and catch it for later.
We
Are all
do have a
capitals
question.
we
Oh.
we
We
also
do have
had
a question coming in
Yeah,
that a
we
lot
also
of
had-
people are agreeing on.
yeah.
Which is Magda, describe your relationship with Caden.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Everyone is agreeing.
Okay. Well, Kate and I were childhood friends, actually. Yeah. We lived nearby, became friends. I didn't have a whole lot of other friends, so I was, eager to play with any similarly aged playmate I could. We parted ways for a while and met back up, and we found that our skills aligned, so we started working together. There is no one I trust more in the world. Let's see.
Insight check.
I think Chad is right. They said you're being evasive, which
Well,
I agree.
I mean, those were great answers for not giving
Yeah.
away storyline elements that
Yeah, I
haven't
mean,
been
I think the
explored yet.
limit here is we can't say things that are going to be revealed in backstory in plot.
Understood.
So, that is evasive, but you just
Well done,
gotta
though.
be patient
Mhm.
and
Purposefully,
Yes.
exactly
graciously
You'll find out
evasive.
more. Mhm.
They want Caden's version now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone, but I was surrounded by everyone. Meg is the first person I knew. Something special about that. And she has saved my life many times. As a kid, as an adult. There's no one that I care for more. There may be no one else that I care for at all. But she is incredibly intelligent, powerful. I would give my life to protect her. Well, there, that is Caden.
You're
That
gonna
was
make her
so
learn to
cute.
cry.
Yeah, that was very emotional. I was not expecting tonight to be emotional.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Down the light. Give me just a minute.
This next question, for her does her ever actually savor a meal? And if he does, what would it be?
So, no, but if he did, it would be coffee, and coffee's not a meal. He savors every drip of coffee. He's obsessed with coffee. That's like his thing. But the rest of food, like it doesn't matter. Like hot pizza, burn the roof of your mouth, like all the way.
Follow up: is he desensitized to the pain then of burning himself at this point?
Oh.
So it's such an exciting thing. Food is that it's much like the dog that's like here just a second ago.
Yep.
He's gonna eat it and suffer the consequences afterwards.
That's awesome.
They also want to know how old each of us are in our party, like your character.
Oh, okay. So we had like a shared doc. That,
I
like,
have it
during-
open if you want.
You do.
A cheat.
I want to see if I can remember.
Okay.
I think Clara is 21.
Correct. Ding ding.
Yes. Ding.
All right, Hurt. You definitely know, don't you?
Yeah, 36.
Yes. Yeah, because the
Glad I
age
can do
difference.
math.
Yeah. And Olivia's 23.
Agda's 35.
Oh.
Caden is mid-30s.
Oh, that's okay.
Uncertain.
Oh, okay.
I did not realize that Olivia and Claire are so much younger.
Yeah, we are. I guess it kind of makes sense with how we act.
You said you're
Absolutely,
23.
it does.
Olivia?
23, yeah.
23.
What brings each of your characters great joy and great sadness? Ooh, that's nice. Nice question.
I have first initiative, right? So
Yes.
Yes.
great joy, family. My character is all about family. Great sadness, family as well.
Oh.
Well, my father was put into slavery in the mines. Well, it's essentially slavery. He was caught in like a smuggling operation. So like, okay, there's an organization called the GTA, and I don't think I'm giving anything away here because there's been quite a bit of information that's been said about it. It's the Goblin Trash Association. Like basically bugbears, goblins. They deal with the city's trash, and somehow that was left to the responsibility of the bugbears and the goblins and what have you, goblinoids. And within that organization, there exists a lot of tunnels underground, which have been used for smuggling operations. And my father, actually, I don't think I'm allowed to say this. as it's coming out.
Redacted.
Let me
Strike that.
just, how do I mute you over here?
My father, okay, so my father is basically in he's a slave in the mines right now, and I grew up without a father, essentially. Like I had one, but he was sent away when I was very young, and so that brings me great pain. And now my mother is in the same sort of boathouse or whatever. So
Boathouse? She's not on the boat.
Is that a phrase?
It's in the same boat.
In the
Wheelhouse?
Same boat.
Same
Wheelhouse,
boat,
boat,
wheelhouse.
whatever, guys.
That's great. I love it.
Yes, great sadness. Sorry.
Anyways, yeah, so great happiness, great sadness, family.
I think next is Caden.
Boathouse.
Next is Caden.
Yeah, an initiative.
Oh yeah, right. So great joy. As funny as it may be, or for Caden, I can immediately think of great joy. I'm having trouble with the great sadness, which might actually be surprising. I will speak as Scott because this doesn't feel right for Caden. Caden great joy drawing. Or any type of fine artistry for him is huge. We haven't explored that yet, except to say that there are tattoos on both Caden and Megda that we've seen that are all done by Caden. So anything fine art related, especially when he gets to actually tattoo it, really his only. Yeah, no, actually, I'm not gonna explain any more than that at this point. That's he loves that, and any quiet periods of time where he can take that time to actually perfect that in like a small environment, quiet environment, is like that's his thing when he can. That brings him great joy. And along with the kind of accoutrement that goes with that in terms of like the setting and what you might have to drink and who you're spending it with and that kind of stuff. Sadness, great sadness for him. Truth is, either Scott hasn't explored that enough yet and doesn't know the answer to it, or Hayden is a little bit apathetic to sadness, I guess would maybe be the word I'm looking for, or a little bit numb to it or something. There's no kind of I think for Caden, I guess what the best I can say is sadness feels a little bit like reviewing the past, thinking about the past and thinking of something that's sadness. For him, it's almost like there is no past. It's present or it's future. And so there's not a lot he thinks about that's like things to be sad about kind of thing. So he can be fearful of things in the future, but it's nothing that I can think of in the moment right now. Great sadness or anything.
That's interesting.
Good. I feel like I should be taking notes.
I know. I've never thought this much about a character. Like, I gotta come up with stuff. I gotta think really hard about this.
So is that all of that, or Scott can't think of anything right now?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fair answer. I'm trying to think of things for Clara. I feel like it's bad that I thought of what brings her great sadness first and not what brings her great joy. I think I know her answer for sadness would be not being enough for the people around her. That's a very big, I think, fear for her. And so just like feeling like she doesn't measure up in a family that is very large, but also having then been separated from it, I think she struggles with feeling like she has a place. So that's probably a good element of melancholy for Clara. Joy. See, I feel like I know my aunt is watching, so she'll understand why I am laughing at joy. Clara, happiness, not a lot of things.
What about her dad and all the waffles?
Yeah,
What about
I will
books?
say,
Yeah, books.
I feel like she has a complicated relationship with books. She does love books, but there's like an element of competition with books of like needing books to feel good about herself. But yeah, probably that she found her dad. It's probably a really big sense of joy there. It's very complicated. They have a very strange relationship, having only discovered each other when she was 11. But yeah, probably that she now has somewhat more of a landing place despite it getting messed up, is that she does have one very good stable relationship in her life now with Arthur. Heard and Olivia are not stable.
No, I didn't expect you to say that. Well, Heard maybe, but
Oh, and my aunt did get my joke.
Great.
I'll explain,
Inside
not
stuff.
on stream.
Cool. Okay, it seems weird Olivia wouldn't really be answering something like this, so I'll answer for her. As far as joy, we'll say responsibility kind of, having like I'd say power, but that sounds very evil mastermind. But like succeeding on things and actually getting somewhere with stuff would bring her joy, but she hasn't had a lot of that, so it's more like she's chasing that type of joy, but it hasn't happened yet, but she knows that it would bring her joy. So it's that, I guess. And then because she doesn't, she's a rather grumpy person, if you hadn't noticed that yet. But so she doesn't express that much as far as that goes, but if she were to finally get that promotion, she would be pretty pleased with herself, I think. As far as great sadness goes, I think I could, she's got a list for sure, because that's what a D&D character is, a very trauma-ridden backstory to make it interesting. But
Oh, you've got an actual list. Your character keeps a list.
yeah, she keeps a list. It's by her bookcase, just fucking her shit list. No, I think it's almost, when you said Clara, one of the things that she is sad about is like not feeling like she's enough. I think Olivia unknowingly would definitely have that as well, because Clara and Herd both have all this crazy magic power, and she hadn't had anything for a while, but finally she's discovered that she can make shadows appear, so that's amazing. So I guess that was sadness, but now it's good. But
Character
as,
arc.
yeah, I finished. I can leave now. That's it. But then, yeah, I think it's, as you've seen, she's got a lot of anger, like, and she doesn't like her mother, and she doesn't know who her father is, and both of those things give her a lot of sadness. And then also things that have happened in the past with Clara, she's got a lot of anger about that as well. So I'd say she doesn't get sad, she just gets angry about everything. So that's it.
Okay. So so Magda, she's a very avaricious character. So she indulges a lot in the things she enjoys. In general, she just enjoys, finery. She loves attention. I would say, in terms of like greatest joys, probably her tattoos are one of them, in terms of artwork that she carries with her and actually means something to her. As well as just, and I am going to go down and sound like an evil person, feeling powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait,
Makes
this is
sense
Magda
now.
or Zoe? Wait, Magda, right?
No,
Yeah.
this is Magda. As far as sadness goes, I think she's kind of in a similar boat of Caden, where it's something she avoids. Not that there aren't things she feels sad about, but they are not worth having in her life, so she cuts them out. But in her weaker moments, when she's actually, thinking about those things, I would say that probably ideas of family, and sometimes even her relationship with Caden.
Wait, I'm controlling a number of things here. Was that the sadness or the happiness part? I missed that.
Sadness.
Okay.
We all have family issues.
We all have family.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we can just be one big family now. Like,
Yeah,
don't cry.
oh.
Chosen family and also
Yeah.
real family.
I should have
Yeah.
said that as her.
Yes.
I actually imagined it as him, so.
Do you want me to stop the stream? We can go back. and just try it again?
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
please.
You went off script there.
Let's edit that out.
Yeah, let's all just duck out of frame for a second.
You can all be
Who
one
has the
big
little thing to
happy
go
family
snap?
now.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we got her. I
Oh.
like it.
Oh.
I think that I like this. One of the next questions. The questions are coming in. Just,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
which character most resembles their player, and which the least?
Should
I
people
feel
answer
like-
this one, or
I feel like the player can't answer that. I
Yeah,
feel like
I was just
the
gonna
other
say.
players have to
Yeah.
answer that.
Mhm.
Okay, so everyone at the same time.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Let's see.
Is that answerable right now? Do we know enough about
Characters. Yeah.
It's just
everything?
appearance, right?
Or is it appearance
Oh.
or is it like personality?
I think it's a. Oh, I don't know. What did they mean?
It's just resembles, right?
What
Yeah,
did you
re-
mean?
I guess we can take it
Well-
how we want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We can take it how we want it.
Yeah.
If you go appearance, I'd say Magda and Magda look similar with the hair color and all that, and then also Herd and Herd. You two.
It's the beard.
It's
Yep.
the jowls. It's
Yes,
the
the
jowls,
jowls.
isn't it?
It's the jowls.
You know,
I was gonna say the tusks.
Mm.
I appreciate all the great artwork that's been done on my character, but I never said that my character has a beard. It's just been drawn that way, and one might wonder maybe it's because I have a beard. That's why they drew it
I
that
think
way.
we're just like having trouble interpreting jowls. At least that
I
was for
can-
me.
I know. I tried so hard, and I just got a pug or a bulldog every time I tried, and I was like, "This is so ugly. I can't handle it." So I removed them.
I quite like Herd's like 1860s beard vibes going on. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Are you talking about my character? Or I
Yeah,
guess you're talking.
No, it's a very specific style. Like, don't worry, your beard is great. It is classic beard. Why am I talking this much about beards?
Classic
This is the
beard.
longest I've ever had it. Actually, once COVID-19 hit Minnesota, which is where I live, and I started working from home indefinitely, I was just like, you know what? I don't need to shave. I don't need to buzz my beard anymore. I'm gonna ride this thing out and just watch it get gnarly. And this is where I am. You
We
know,
will
still
watch
working
with
from
you.
home. Yeah.
Yeah, we can track
All of
it over the
us.
course of the streams.
Stream, we need some artwork of Herd's beard here.
Yeah,
I think we need artwork of Herd without a beard with the gels. If anyone can actually do that, I will be so impressed.
I don't volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, no. Neither do I.
Good.
All right.
If
Wait,
the
okay.
question was phrased like if resemblance in terms of personality, I would still like to think that it's Magda because I like to think
Really?
that you are power hungry in real life.
Oh my
There's
God.
nothing I can say to that because that's just.
It's true.
Can't- yeah.
Yeah.
Is it true? I don't know.
Well, you tell us. I don't
He
know.
means
you.
you're very charismatic. That's what he means. So much
Okay.
charisma and class. Trying to
Charisma,
dig our way
yeah.
out of this hole, Herd.
Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Exactly.
All
Did anyone
right.
else have any thoughts on that, on the question in general, or should
Well, they
we
said
move on?
most and least. So
And least.
yeah, as far as appearance goes, it's hard to make like my character and Jackie's character look like ours because the hair is very distinct. I guess.
Have I looked at wigs? Yes. They don't make a lot of good, nice green colored wigs.
Yeah, I
Someone
can
that's
imagine.
pale and diet.
Yeah, that it requires a lot of effort on my part.
Fair enough.
And like buckets that I don't own.
Buckets. That's the problem. That's where the issue is.
I don't own a lot of like basic living supplies, so it's
Oh.
fine.
As far as personality goes, Jackie and Clara. Probably pretty close.
I mean, yeah, probably. I accept that.
Caden scowls a lot. Scott does not. I tend to
No.
smile a lot.
I was
Yeah.
about to say,
And-
I think you're the
Yeah.
person I would choose in terms of.
I
appearance.
think Ray and Olivia are pretty different too.
I'd hope
Yeah.
so. Please don't say I'm like her.
Yeah, no, you are not at
Thank you.
all.
Your
Thank you.
hair looks like it's on fire.
In the
I'm kidding.
okay. It's like
No,
what?
like,
Oh no.
that's like a thing about your character, though, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to look like that in the character.
And,
Alright.
and my hair is literally as opposite as you can get. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
see.
Very true.
that is the least.
And you're missing the tattoos all over.
Yes.
Yeah.
I only have one. There it is. Yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Gotta scroll.
There's an IRL question. Since there's some time travel aspect going on in our campaign, if you could travel to a time period in real life, when would you go? You have asked a history teacher this question.
Wait, I just want to address something. Somebody asked, "Who needs a wig when you can dye your hair?" I would need a wig. Anyways, carry on.
Oh,
Very true. That's our new funding goal is get Cal a wig.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Time period.
Time period, right?
Do I do initiative order?
So me first.
Yeah.
Yes, because I don't want
Yeah.
to go first.
Pressure on.
I'm not the history buff here, but yeah, looking at you, Jackie.
I can stall for time. I have a lot of thoughts about this question.
Oh no.
I guess I don't know. I might want to be like in like a Victorian era. Like I would like to see my character in a Victorian era, and I'm not really sure why. I just always kind of pictured him in the attire, like Victorian attire. But that's not exactly a one-to-one with how our world is. So I don't know. I guess I don't have a great reason why, but I just always pictured it that way. That's my answer. I'm sticking with it.
Is it supposed to be us going to that era or the character going to that era?
Us.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wait,
Is-
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
for
said
going
I'm
forward,
sticking
we'll
with it,
assume,
so I gotta stick with it.
We'll assume player means us, character means our characters. Oh, it just says if you. Okay.
What says IRL? So
Oh, that's true. IRL. You're right. Yeah. In real life.
So still Victorian.
Yeah. I specifically said I'm sticking with it. That's my answer. So
Hmm.
there's
Okay.
nothing I can do at this point. I already said that.
I used to think I would want to go back to like medieval period when I was younger because I always like, oh, swords and bows and arrows and crossbows until I realized all of those things would kill me. I am not a particularly strong person. I would be, if I base on my current, socioeconomic where I am in the kind of thing, I would imagine I would end up falling into, based on sheer numbers, the peasant class of people who would have a very shitty life, very short life. So I've decided against that. And so my answer is really, I would only want to be here. I'm scared of most of the past. I'm happy here. Thank you very much. I don't want to go anywhere else. Healthcare? Yes, thank you very much. Some food? I'm good with that. Some tech so we can do this kind of stuff? That's my job. So yes, I would rather be right here. Thank you.
Unload on us, Jackie.
Let's hear
I
it.
have a lot of thoughts because I ask this question to my students all the time.
Mhm.
And I always get to tell it's always a trap to ask this question because my answer to them is always you're wrong and here's why. But yeah, I think what Scott said has a lot of merit here. Like being who I am. I don't know that I'd want to go back in time a whole lot. There used to be a trend a couple weeks ago on TikTok of all things. I'm gonna date myself here for just how young but also out of touch I am. That was like, oh, what I'd wear in this time period, and that got me thinking about this sort of thing. And I was like, I don't know that I would have a good time in like certainly wouldn't have a good time in like the 40s. Not a good time. It's very aesthetic, like cool. Wouldn't want to actually be there. Like maybe to visit, but not actually live. Same with the 20s. Cool aesthetic. Nope, wouldn't make it. Couldn't cut it. Like I feel like I'd have to go way back. Like we're gonna go ancient times. Like I would
Jurassic,
love
huh?
to see not
Yeah,
not that
I
far
want to ride a
back.
dinosaur.
Yes, this was a trap question. I think I'd have to go real far back, and even then it would still be problematic. But I'd probably want to go see like I want to go watch the Trojan War for 10 years. I feel like I'd be interested in that. Um, Knowing that I'd probably die real quick, but like at least I could get some interesting historical knowledge out of it. But nothing within the past in like 17th up to modern times until like right now. I want to stay right here because none of the other times are fun.
But how about like right before COVID-19? That was a pretty good time.
Does that mean we have to repeat the past 4 months? Because then no, not doing
Or
that either.
it's been,
5,
like,
6, whatever. Time doesn't mean anything anymore.
I don't even know.
So that's my answer. Go real far back, ancient, just knowing that I'm gonna die.
Hmm. Uh, yeah. I think there's a huge, pretty much any time later than now is kind of just a bad time for women in general. Like, I don't want to deal with that. And I hate wearing dresses. So that just ruins everything, really. Because that's all there is. So I guess unless I'm like walking around in a suit of armor and nobody notices it's me, I think we're going to have a problem. Um, I can go full, what's the, Mulan. I'd be up for that. I could totally be soldier in one of those. I'd probably die pretty quick, but I would enjoy being a buff soldier for a little while. Um, I have read a few books about like medieval times, and I think that it would be interesting to see that. But by the way they describe the smell, I don't think I'd want to be there. Seeing as there's no toilet, yeah, plumbing could use some work. So I might not say that. But yeah, no, this time is a good time, and I like having technology. So I'd probably stay here, but I'd like to visit places from the past. I'd like to visit like Viking people and see what that was like because they look interesting and the shows are really cool. And because I'm sure they're 100% historically accurate all the time with everything. But yeah, like I'm sure if I were to go back in time and not have to stay, if I was like able to keep my current like money that I have, I could be rich because when you go back, then it's like the weird inflation things. So then if I could be like a high class person, then sure, I can wear whatever the hell I want and do whatever I want because I got all this money. So that would be fun. But if I'm going all the way back down to like where I am now, social class, same thing with Scott. Like I'm a peasant, so I don't know. That was not a great answer, but that was my answer.
We followed you on that journey. It was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure every answer I give is going to be easy to listen to.
For me, I'm kind of the same boat as Scott and Jackie in terms of like, that was fine. This is fine. If I had to pick one, I kind of like, visiting a lot of places would be cool. A lot of time periods, a lot of things that don't exist anymore would be cool to see. Textiles that we forgot how to make, cuisines that kind of got lost. The Middle Ages, I think, is always kind of interesting to me because of how it is misportrayed in a lot of media, and it would just be interesting to go see like what's it really like. But I think that if I had to like pick one to go and be at, I would probably want to go like even further back than Jackie and say like the beginnings of like language and written language, because I love linguistics, and I think seeing like how that was developed and that sort of thing would be absolutely fascinating. It would be a shitty time period to live in, but it would be interesting.
Look at us
It
getting
would
to know
be
each
very
other.
interesting. I'm scrolling back. That's the time period.
Oh,
Question
somebody
earring.
was wondering about your earring, Scott.
I saw that. I threw it in. I threw that.
Nice.
Yay!
The question was Scott Earring or something like that. Not
Yeah.
like.
Scott earring when?
I'll admit, I've never had an interest in earring whatsoever, and I think I was talking to my wife a couple weeks ago about it, and I was like, "This is the first time I've ever actually kind of wanted one now." So I wouldn't
Can
need
we
to.
like Parent
would-
Trap style pierce your ears?
Oh no.
Right now, my wife has generously given me like multiple chains and earrings that I've put together to like hook one earring onto something else, onto a different earring thing, and just hook it around my ear. So I'm content with that for now.
Your camera on stream is like so clear. It's way easier to see it than on Zoom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's adjusted.
Probably
that is
because
weird.
it's not streamed from
Mhm.
the one recording it, so it's not going over.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
Next question is, what is each character's greatest aspirations?
Ooh,
So that's a big question.
that's a big one.
I'm going to do this one in character. I want to remove my family, my siblings, and
my
my
God.
parents from difficult situations.
Okay.
Scenario. No, I want to eliminate them. Is that what you're thinking I was going to say?
That's what it sounded like at first.
Yeah.
I want to remove them. Yeah.
There can only be one.
I completely lost my train of thought. there.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, so sorry.
You were saying something
Start
really
over if
sweet.
you need to.
I want to remove them from difficult situations. You know, my siblings were raised without much money and not in the best living conditions, and I want to help fix that, and I want to help remedy that. My mother is in the mines. I actually can do something about that if I were to raise 10,000 gold pieces, whatever. Yeah, gold pieces, right? That's the okay. And then my father, I'm afraid there's probably nothing I can do about his scenario. He's also in the mines. But I grew up without a father, and I want to. It was tough, and I want to help my family in whatever way I can to prevent the feelings that I felt growing up. Okay, what do you guys?
Sorry, we're laughing at chat,
Yeah.
which says we should start a GoFundMe.
Everyone was laughing at that. We're so sorry.
I was just about to say USD. Like I don't know why.
Specifically in
Oh,
USD.
man.
Okay, Gaiden.
Yeah.
Greatest aspirations. Look, I don't worry about all of that. I don't need to worry about what's the great plan for the future. I just need to make sure that we survive today and that tomorrow is a little bit better than today is. Beyond that, it's I couldn't predict yesterday what was going to happen today, and there's no way I can predict tomorrow. So let me get us through today safely, and I'm sure Magda's got something for us tomorrow.
Pressure's on, Magda.
I'm last on the initiative roll, so
Got some time to think about that.
yeah.
Clara. I think my greatest aspiration would be to make a name for myself outside of everything else. I'm gonna be good at something, and everyone know that I'm good at it, and have that mean something. Uh, family is complicated. I don't really expect that to get better. Relationships are even more complicated, so all I can do is my work, and I want to do something great. Preferably in terms of making a mark on the world, and don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but hoping I can figure it out. Scene.
Just Ray's aspirations for Olivia are different than Olivia's aspirations for Olivia. I'll start with that. But Olivia's aspirations. I want to be rich. And I want to be a commander, the Watch. And yeah, I want a lot of money. Like, I want to be able to go to the store and not have to actually look at the price tag. You know, those people that go and then they just pick stuff up. That's the life right there. Just and live in a house by myself. That would be cool. Have my own room. And buy new armor that I buy. And not pay rent anymore. Not have to talk to Terry anymore. And not have to worry about bills. Maybe take over Terry's job and fix up those houses. Guess I'd have a lot to do. Fuck, that's a lot of work. Probably hire somebody. Get rich and then hire somebody to do all of that. That's what I do. And then I think behind the scenes aspirations are for her to figure out her family shit, but yeah, that's a big one. That's all.
What do I want? My aspirations. I think that I want a good life and a great life for me and mine. And I don't mean that in the sense of being famous. I mean that in the sense of doing what we want to do, having all the things that we would like to have, being able to do everything that anyone else can and more, and being adored for it.
Meg just gonna be the queen of the universe.
Love it.
Man.
I am here for it. Clara is ride or die Magda in power.
Oh man. Olivia can be like the war commander. Clara can be like the mage, the kingdom
Vizier.
mage.
Yeah.
Scott will be Caden will be her bodyguard, and Herd will be the kingdom therapist.
The king. I provide therapy for a kingdom. This is good.
Maybe human resources.
Aid and coffee.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Love it.
I have to say, I love watching all of you fall into character. There's something so much fun about just like seeing the moment when the character arrives.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, this
Hell
is the best group of role players I have had the privilege of playing with. It has been a lot of fun so far.
Absolutely.
Just like chatting afterwards and being like, and did you see Ray do this? And did you see when Herd was like just all those moments?
God.
It's like so good. It's so good.
It's so good. Every episode has been so fun with you guys. Like,
Yeah.
of course, like like every episode with D&D is always fun, but like it's just like so great because everyone's in it to win it, I guess. Not to win, but to play as their characters and to really it's not all like, okay, this is D&D, we have to win. This is D&D, we have to play the story. It's nice.
I think Magda wants to win though.
No, I think Magda's going to win.
She will.
Thankfully, so far, it's a co-op game. So we just help along and
Full disclosure, going into the conversation with the Rook, I had about 8 different plans to kill him and take the throne.
I told you I was here for it. would have been great.
We would have just been like, all right, let's go. We're fighting.
Technically, we still can do any of those plans.
Yes.
We haven't killed him yet.
Not yet.
See, the problem is he knows that you can see him now in the darkness. That would have been a good card.
But
I don't know what
Trump
else I
card.
can do, though.
eventually, I will learn the spell Invisible. So we could do a switcheroo. Unless he has True Sight, and then fuck him, I guess.
I'm sure he does.
I'm sure Matt
Some
will
sort
watch
of-
this back and be like, I need to give him that. Edit this out. Edit this out.
Do we want to go for a 1 hour thing and then take a break, or do we want to do and like a 5-minute break and then come back for some more time, or do we want to go to our usual kind of hour 15?
Let's see. How many questions have we not answered in chat? Because we could finish them up if we're.
This is one. I'm pretty sure that was the last one.
Oh, somebody was asking what everybody's class is, just to know for sure.
Oh yeah. Do we mind disclosing that? I don't think there's any secrets with that anymore.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
don't
fine
think
now.
anyone
I
has.
want to tell you all what my classes are,
Go for it.
and I'm first in the initiative, so I will.
You are.
Okay.
My first level was in War Cleric, and they get this bonus action ability. They can do an extra attack as a bonus action, equal to a number of times equal to their Wisdom modifier. And then I put the rest of my levels into Fighter. And I'm not quite level 3 in that, so we're gonna find out what subclass I pick of Fighter shortly, hopefully.
Yes, because we are character level 3 at this point in time.
Also, something to note, none of the other characters in the party can heal. And so I thought it was, being the family's important type of guy, I thought I better, grab some healing words.
Important.
Caden, mainly for roleplay reasons, I had a desire to play a warlock, but for roleplay reasons, it made sense with the story with Caden and Magda to roll up a rogue to start. So Caden is a level 1 rogue and now 2 levels of warlock. So no subclass. Well, it's kind of, I guess he's picked his subclass, but no pact chosen at level 3 warlock yet. Yeah, so rogue 1, warlock 2.
All wizard all the time, baby. It is chronergy magic here, and that is it. I'm not multiclassing in anything yet. I don't think Clara has the stats to do anything. Except for like Blood Hunter. Which would be fascinating. But yeah, she's level 3 chronergy wizard.
That would be a hard left turn.
I would love to see that character development.
Yeah.
We discover that her boyfriend is actually a demon, and she just goes all in on hunting them.
I would encourage that.
I mean, Olivia was already sure he was a demon, so
I mean,
What other explanation is there?
there's a lot of other explanations that I cannot reveal. I will let Matt reveal those as the time comes. But yeah, it's just straight wizard. I do have some tricks up her sleeve that will come with some of the spell lists that she has access to. But yeah, just wizard.
Well, Olivia is a level 3 fighter, Echo Knight. I had a lot of issues deciding my character development for Olivia. I had a lot of help from my wonderful party here that helped me figure out what I'd do. But there's always the possibility that she may multi-class, just because I thought that I was going to be something. I thought I was going to be something completely different before we started, and it's changed a lot. And I'm going to continue going by how the story goes with how she continues that. But yeah, for now, Echo Knight.
You say we helped, but I remember those conversations. I think we just threw more oil
Yeah.
on a fire that was already, you were trying to put out of different things you wanted to decide. We're like, how about this? How about this?
And this, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
probably
think
more
we stayed
accurate.
up very late one evening after
Yeah.
our session.
Yeah, me and Jackie stayed up till like, I don't know, 3, 4, who knows, and just talked about character possibilities.
I do have Ray's Testing Center as a campaign in my D&D Beyond so that we could
Yeah.
mess with it.
Made so many different like variations, but
That's
that
awesome.
helped. It helped a lot.
Plug for D&D Beyond.
Sponsor us.
Not sponsored.
Magnus Warlock. Yep.
What?
That's that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Shocking.
No plans to multi-class, but honestly, see how the story goes.
Do we have, are you giving patron or pact, like, regardless of the story, are you giving that information about what direction?
Oh,
for
well,
abilities?
Oh.
I'm curious, do the other players know what her class is?
I do.
Yeah?
I got told to make the video, so
Oh,
okay,
that's right.
okay,
Yeah,
well then.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's
So I will not
she's
reveal
Archfey-
that.
She's Archfey Warlock.
Oh. That doesn't do anything for me, but interesting. All right. Well,
I think that's all of chat questions.
Yeah,
Yes.
unless you guys want to come up with more. Those were great.
oh, they
Okay.
Yeah,
they,
they were.
Jackie, they canceled your boyfriend, by the way.
You know, that's honestly, that's fine with me personally. Claire's not going to be happy about it, but
Hmm.
yeah, she needs some intervention. I think that's all agreed.
Oh, that's beeping. Stop. Anyway, sorry. Stream
I
probably
really hope-
heard that.
Were we live for that? That was
Yep,
great.
yes, we're live.
Okay.
Stream probably heard that.
Well, exciting welcome back to
Scream! We're
our
back!
Q&A session.
We're here.
Oh no, it's beeping.
I did not know that Chrome would do that.
Chat expected that Alexa set a timer for 5 minutes to come out of someone's mouth. Don't do it, Alexa. Sorry. She's literally right next to me, so she sometimes does act up.
So I didn't read that one out loud.
I know. I thought as I was saying it, I was like, this is a mistake. We have you guys sent us some more questions.
They're fantastic. Thank you so much.
Which we love. We have a what the heck is Heard Olivia and Claire's mom? This one I think is easy enough to answer because it has been mentioned on like our very first episode, I think. That she's an Eladrin.
Yes. Might be a little hard to follow the family tree
Yes.
here. Yes.
To
What
be
is an
fair, it's hard
Eladrin?
for us. An Eladrin is special type of elf.
Yes.
Very flavorful elf of in the style of the Feywild. They can take on aspects of their personality from the different courts. So summer, spring, fall, and winter, which means that she has a lot of personalities. Not only does she have a lot of personality, she's got a lot of them. So not the most stable of influences, clearly.
Yes. She's had issues in the past keeping all of her. Most Eladrin, their personality switches are a little bit more planned, or not planned, but less chaotic than our mother's has been. So she has a lot of chaotic seasonal switches that so her mood has been very weird throughout our childhood, which is a bit of why some things have happened. She's also a bit of a criminal.
A bit.
Well,
Yeah.
so in our world, the quantity of children you're allowed to have is monitored, or there's a law against having too many children.
Yes.
You can
Scott,
only
were you
have
mentioning
two.
two?
Which we did only
Yeah.
mention once, so maybe we should mention that again, I think.
Yeah.
So, and then we, like our siblings, we're not the only 3 siblings from our family. So, our mother has been breaking the law in that way.
And
She's
I believe,
also
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, she's also a bit of a con woman. Pretty much most of the people she's conned are also people that are some of our fathers, I think, is how that worked out. But she also just cons other people just in general. So it's not just the having too many kids, she's got other criminal activity under her belt as well.
Matt will have to correct me, or maybe one of you remember better than I. But from what I often think of the way Matt described the kid stuff in his world is kind of the way I think of like pollution tax, where essentially here's your maximum, you go above it, you're fined, or you can pay money to go above it. So it's the same sort of thing. You can pay money to have more kids, but if you don't pay your money, then you're gonna get a big hefty fine or go to jail.
One of the aspects is that women can sell the rights to have kids, and other women can buy them. So that is how that transaction works.
Yes.
And part of that is the world lore, is that the world that I'm sure we'll get into it more, so I won't say too much because I would like Matt to be able to explore his own world with us. But we live in a small area of this world behind a massive wall. That's all I'll really say about that. But
we have
so there's
limited resources, limited space, limited basically everything. That's why there's meat is so expensive. The hunting licenses we got were so expensive, etc.
Yeah, even lands for hunting is like a major premium. It's like, green space in a major city, like that's worth a lot. So to have hunting space and to be able to actually hunt something is a pretty big deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's our mom.
Yeah,
Criminal.
That's mom.
There. That's mom.
All right. What has been your favorite encounter or episode thus far?
Good question.
So mine, unfortunately, this was the episode that was lost. That I think we went the entire episode, and then at the end of it, we realized we were recording it. So okay, the story goes, Matt knew he was gonna be out of town, so we were pre-recording this, and we're planning on putting it up on YouTube. And we recorded the whole thing, and we're gonna put it up on YouTube, like I just said. And we realized that we didn't capture the sound throughout the entire thing, and that was my favorite episode. The very next episode, we Matt was not there. We decided, hey, us players we're gonna run it, and we're gonna try to do something unique and creative, which
Episode
was
3.
that what.
Episode 3. Sorry to interrupt.
Episode 3, yeah, which was us trying to retell the story of what was my favorite episode. I hope we did it justice. End scene.
It was really unique doing that. Like we've all played D&D. I think almost all of us, if not all of us, are also dungeon masters. We've also played. So to actually kind of tell it as almost like a half scripted story, but lots of improv still, like scripted in that we know what scenes we're going to do, but we don't know what we're going to say necessarily in the scenes, was a lot of fun. I think I'm next, right? Like in the role?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was just going to carry on with that and say that was the most unique episode we've done. I still really enjoy the very first episode. The very first episode, there's just so much uncertainty about what's going to happen, as well as kind of the getting to know the other characters and trying to throw in a little bit of that, especially throwing in, like, I know there was a lot of animosity between Olivia and Caden that first episode, which was just a lot of fun to play on. And then Matt got me. He says, you know, one of Caden's, someone that Caden knows from like the underground thieving stuff like that, rogue class, is over on the tram. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, they're here for the gnome he's talking about, or they're here for X, Y, or Z reasons. So I'm just gonna go on over there. I walk right over. And when Matt goes, like, says in character that they're here for Caden and for Magda, the surprise on my face was real. Like, 100% did not expect it. So that was a lot of fun, that first episode. I would say the first episode and the third episodes for me are my favorite, simply because of how they're unique, how unique they were for me.
Yeah, I really liked doing, for episode wise, I loved episode 3. I think very much looking forward if we can do something like that again. Because obviously, considering we've role played our way through at multiple episodes where we just didn't have any combat, which I'm sure Matt was shaking his fist at, but we love it. So that was super fun. I also really appreciate the moment Clara got to reveal to all of you her secret hideout. Because the anxiety that I felt the entire time as soon as I was like, we need a place to go, and like Matt and I had talked about all of that, and I was like, so I have this, but I'm feeling anxious and like, oh no, I was internally cringing the entire time, which was perfect because that's exactly what Clara was doing too. Just like never have embodied a fuller sense of that than that moment, and then getting to see you all react was so fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my answers are kind of the same as everyone else's. I think the episode 3 and then episode 3 remix was both amazing. It was just so fun to do, but also just so strange at the same time. And then just the amount of like, oh my gosh, we're gonna do this, so and at the start was so funny because everyone was so nervous, and then we just started and it was great. So that was really fun. Of course, episode 1 is awesome because it's the first and everyone gets to try their characters for the first time. But then the next two for me are the interrogation episode where we were like everyone was getting interrogated for the murder, and then Olivia's just running around the city trying to like get to everyone at the right time.
That was
and
good.
Ray was just so worried because I'm like, I'm not doing well enough. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to get to, what do I do? I felt like I had to make so many decisions that I didn't know how to make. And then, so that was just really fun, rules wise. And then, seeing Clara's hideout was also really fun because I got to learn some things about her that changed my perspective a lot about my sister. But I guess I should have expected that since I don't know anything about her because I've never spoken to her really. But yeah,
I love that dynamic that got to open up between Claire and Olivia for that.
Yes,
because at least Caden and Magda have no idea about the family at all, so like no expectation.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a turning point in the relation. Another turning point in the relationship that is probably one of many to come, but good or bad turns. But yeah, Meg.
For me, I mean, I also loved episode 3. Like the remix we did was just, I loved it. Before I played D&D, all I used to do was text-based role play, and it involved a lot of like planning out of character and then hopping back in with that plan in mind and writing it, and it was just that, but like in acted form. So much fun. I also second what Ray said, that I love the sequence where we were all getting interrogated. Like that was such a gotcha moment for me, because I was like, Magda got interrogated and I'm like, she rolled so well, everything was great, and then they just turned around and arrested Herd. And I knew the exact line I said that Magda didn't have to say, but I, the player, chose for her to say, that got him in trouble, and went, oh, fuck. And it was great. I
Yes.
loved it.
That one was fun.
I had forgotten about the interrogation thing, but what was great about that is I love being surprised, and it was cool to suddenly be surprised by these characters we hadn't seen before, who suddenly forced all of us on our toes, we got to figure out something to say here. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
I forgot about that one too. And I played D&D with Matt previous to this stream. He's actually, my first D&D game was his first time DMing, and that's how we met. We were just strangers on the internet, and there's a history of me playing low charisma characters and him interrogating me and it just going to shit. And so I kind of had some idea of how this was going to play out for me.
Herd is just so sweet. Everyone was just like, "Oh no, why Herd? It's
Justice for Herd."
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, that's good.
So good.
I was the only one that was lobbying to not kill the goblin, and that
made it
felt
even
bad
better.
about killing the goblin, and then it got pinned on me. Yes, it made it even better.
Oh yeah.
And that all banks off of the poor lost episode.
So many things happened in the lost episode, and it's gonna go down in infamy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
But
just
we
keep
gained
telling
something out
chat.
of it.
Yeah.
We did.
Just keep telling chat how amazing it was and have them wonder.
Maybe
So much
one
episode.
special, we will try and redo it.
Brianna.
We'll watch it.
Not recreate
we'll
it
just
all,
try
but
to
just have a second
dub
chance.
it.
Well,
Voiceover.
Maybe one of the next times that we have Matt gone, we'll just play the recorded visuals and talk over it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Instead of doing
Like
another episode 3, we'll just do that instead. Instead of doing another remix.
We could just use it every time we're missing one. We could just do that and make up whatever we want and say it's the next episode.
Make up an episode.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Dub it differently each time.
Yeah.
And we can switch who's playing who. It'll be great.
Like
Oh,
tonight,
yeah.
this.
Hmm.
Like we're doing now.
I'll be heard.
Yeah, switch who's playing whom.
Who's going to dub me?
Like Hayden.
I would love to see you play Herd, Olivia.
I think Herd should play Magda.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm,
Let's hear it.
I'm not sure how I would do that, honestly. I'm not a very persuasive person in real life, and I'm pretty gullible. So it's like the complete opposite than what Magda is.
Oh man.
fun.
Another question is, are your characters influenced by alignments? Do you prefer something more dynamic or nuanced of how the moral complexities of our characters?
What? Should I go? Are you going?
I
Okay.
have strong feelings about alignments. That's all.
So do I. I think the alignment system in 5e. I think it's a great starting point for new players to help them kind of guide or start to think about how their character might react in certain ways in certain scenarios. But personally, the concept of alignment is so much more complex than two words or you've got two axes. You got your lawful and you've got your good, evil, lawful, chaotic, whatever. It's so much more complex than that in real life. And you certainly wouldn't ever want to say, well, I'm lawful good. And then that's going to kind of pigeonhole you into acting certain ways where, I think, I don't know. I don't like just following the system to a T. And I always start off my characters as neutral so that I have flexibility and freedom to define them as I go. And honestly, I'm not sure this is the way that a lot of people make their characters, but I am heavily influenced. I like to think I'm heavily influenced on, what happens in the session. So for example, at one point I made a joke about getting a teardrop tattoo on my face because I cry. Well, like it was not ever in my backstory that I was in touch with my emotions. Ever since then, like that's now what I am. That's what my character is. And I don't know, that's just how I like to play D&D. So to answer the question, I don't think that the alignment system had any sort of influence on my character, to be truthful.
I would agree with that. I haven't been playing D&D long, two and a bit years, and I think my first character I paid attention to it, and since then, quickly switched into DMing mostly, and realized it really, for a player, let the players just play how they are. People are not, to say that a person in real life is lawful good is inaccurate. They may have a lawful good streak in them. They may have a lawful good role at their job that they are supposed to embody, or anything else. But it's not, no person is that one thing. So, I mean, I could still use it occasionally if I want to as like the character's ideal, but I do actually prefer the D&D ideals, bonds, flaws to actually using an alignment. There's only like one or two things rule wise that actually uses alignment. A couple spells that are, or like, isn't it like the Rakshasa? You can't hit him if you are evil or good or something. Like there's one or two rules that can easily be changed by your DM that actually affect it. So I don't really worry about it anymore, at all either. I don't. People like their 3x3 grid and they put all their characters in it, and that's a lot of fun to look at, but I have never thought about it other than my first character since then.
Yeah, I think it gives a good jumping off point, but I'm a D&D Beyond character creator addict. I do that in my spare time, and so like I never really pay attention to alignment more so than I do jumping off points. And then once you kind of have a good feel for like where the character came from, what they actually would do, you can I can retroactively say what alignment certain characters that I've played are. But I very much prefer to go, like I used to do theater, so thinking about characters like it's a little bit more complicated than than our like little boxes of lawful, chaotic, neutral, all that stuff. And I think it doesn't matter as much as long as you are playing that character as honestly as you can and as thoughtfully as you can, because we all care about our characters a lot. So I think alignment kind of falls to the wayside once you feel that character kind of in your bones a little bit, which can take some time. But I think you generally get the sense of what your character will and won't do, and you don't really need alignment after a certain point. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. There's I pretty when I first start making a character, I usually give it either like lawful or chaotic or neutral, because those ones honestly they help me more make decisions, because then I know if something's going to happen if she goes for the more risky decision, or the more like knows it'll work or have the best chance of success kind of thing. But really, most of the decisions my characters make are based off of their relationship with the other characters, and then the world and how it'll affect like they were like the bonds and the ideals and stuff, and how it'll affect the world going forward. Because Olivia, with her like to a certain person, she's definitely evil. Like by how she's treated like certain people in her life, they would consider her evil for sure. But then with how she would treat like her family or someone someone she doesn't even know very well, she'd probably treat them much better, because she's not really an evil person. She just is a person who's like had a very weird upbringing, and so it's kind of skewed the way that she perceives things. So then she might not, with a mother being a criminal and no like father figure to like, or not really a mother figure that has like taught her anything, it's hard for her to base decisions off of things. So then she just goes with whatever helps her most in the long run, or whatever helps the people that she cares about, or whatever seems most beneficial at the time, which I guess you could say would be neutral. But then I think a lot of people are neutral unless they're more following by the book, which she will do because she is a watcher, so she'll like follow the law because that's her job to do that. But she would also take a bribe because it helps her personally and helps her goals to save up enough money to move away from her current living situation, which isn't quite an evil thing, but is also sort of evil because she's taking a bribe. So yeah, doesn't work. So no alignment.
Dynamic and nuanced.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything that is said, and I think that also I would add I've always felt like the good and evil scales are too polarizing to really be useful. I mean, I think that if you look at the actual like written descriptions of evil alignments, like I think Magda probably falls somewhere in the evil categories. Is she actually an evil character? No, she's not really. So I think that there are better terminology that they could have used in order to create an even more helpful system. Especially because I know a lot of players will see, new players going into that will see evil and think, oh, murder hobo or something along those lines. Whereas that is not truly the case, and it leaves a lot of character types just not included entirely. But yeah, I never look at alignments when I'm making characters. I always forget about it, and then someone will ask me, what's your alignment? And I'm like, shit.
It's a complex answer.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Good answers.
I know there was another one.
Who does your character look up to? Or what characteristics do they value most?
What characteristics does my character value most?
Or
I
who
kind
does
of
your character look up to?
I rather answer what characteristics do I value most, and I think I already have earlier. It's family. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I know of a character in the world. I'm like, there's got to be a character in the world that my character would look up to, but I'm not sure that like we've had enough experience to find them yet as like me as a player to find that character. There's not really a character written into my backstory that I do look up to. Maybe I should have put more thought into my backstory, but yeah, it's family is like what my character is all about.
Caden is Scott's desire. Let me start. Caden is a little bit of a one-dimensional character intentionally at this point in time, because it's part of my desire as a player to hopefully explore the growth Caden might go through to become more than one-dimensional. So at the moment, and it's kind of neat because I didn't know that when I first started the character, but within like an episode or two, it was like, yeah, this is what I want. But so who does the character look up to? 100%. I do this. There we go. Magda. 100%. Like at the moment, Magda is Caden's world. This is his goal in life right now is make sure that he and Magda, make sure that Magda and him are safe. That's so look up to. She's the smart one. She's the one who's gotten them out of problems. She's the one. He may have felt like he can be the tool sometimes to get these things done, but I feel like it's a Caden looks up to Magda situation. Characteristics most value. Caden respects authority, and he gravitates to that, feels comfortable around that, I would say. That's how I'll put that. But it's Scott's desire that will expand over time.
I will answer values first for Clara, and then who, because yeah. Clara really values confidence because she doesn't have a lot of it herself. So people who can very much own who they are. It is probably why she both really likes Magda and is very intimidated by Magda. And she very much wants to be someone who knows exactly who they are and where they stand and can figure that out. As for who, I know this is going to be an unpopular answer. She very much looks up to her mentor. Not because it's the right choice, but out of everyone, like even her dad is he's good at what he does, but he's a little weird. Doesn't have the strong, like, not the absolute best relationship still, she's figuring that out. And she certainly looks up to him, but there's like that weird, like very coming of age moment that I think people do very well in films and things. And for Clara, that's definitely Kieran, which is very unfortunate because she should not be looking up to him. But he has confidence. He knows exactly what he wants. And so bad role model, but her role model right now, certainly she is looking for other options because, yeah, but yeah, that's
Shopping
I'm
for
right
a new
here.
role model.
yeah. I mean, only so much I can reveal because literally have only just met Kieran and not all of the stuff that has happened. But yeah.
Olivia's a great role model. Excuse me. So good. Anyway. Ignore my lies. Olivia doesn't have a role model, I don't think. She's never met anyone that she thinks is I don't think she's ever met anyone that she looks up to that much. All of the superiors she's ever had in work have been usually just in it for their own political gain, and like the whole watch hierarchy is kind of messed up with how they like you can buy positions and stuff like that. So she doesn't consider them somebody to look up to, I don't think. I think just people that she thinks that have qualities that are admirable. I think she could see an admirable quality in everyone, even though she'd never tell anyone that she sees that. Like Claire is a very hard worker, which she finds it's great. Like she works hard for what she does, and she's very good at everything, and that's very admirable. Hurd is very in touch with everything. He knows he knows he knows how to deal with his own feelings, which Olivia doesn't quite know how to deal with her own self yet. And Caden is like so sure of himself, and so like he's a good fighter, and he's good at like, well, maybe not fighter, but he's a good soldier in her mind, and like he's got the responsibility and the reliability that she really those are two values that she really likes. And then Magda's just she can like she's all like Olivia wants to be powerful, and it seems like Magda is already there somehow. I don't know, like she's got that like regal attitude that we've spoken about that I think Olivia finds very very good, and so I think everybody, part of the reason why she's sticking with the party is because she sees aspects in everyone that she kind of wants to learn for herself, because as far as charisma goes, she has none. So she's got to learn from the rest. So yeah, that'd be it.
So for Magda, I think she doesn't really have anyone she looks up to, at least certainly not that she would admit, because anyone that she starts to look up to becomes kind of a challenge to either overcome or tear down. As far as characteristics that she admires or values, I guess, cleverness, beauty, ability to essentially manipulate other people, to read and get other people to do what they want, what she wants, and yeah, I think that's kind of it. And the beauty is kind of tied into manipulating other people, and generally just she admires people who draw attention to themselves, who get everyone looking at them.
I don't see why she's hanging out with us. Like, we don't meet any standards. Like, none.
We're good minions.
Yeah.
She doesn't hang out with people. They hang out with her.
Yeah, that's probably very true right now, honestly.
His whole stream has just been a praise Magda, please.
What I love is that we've actually left our last episode in basically a situation where we've got Queen Magda and her entourage. That's how we kind of ended our last episode at the moment.
That's true.
So if you haven't watched it, chat, check out the last episode, because we're just getting ready to go on a hunt, and we've got the Lady Magda. We've got her.
She's living for it.
Yeah. What were the titles? Like I said, like her mage, her the leader was. Should I call it Ray? What were you?
I think you may have said, something like general or leader kind of thing.
I was the bodyguard, and Herd was just the might, like the
muscle.
The muscle.
Yeah. Wait, you were the bodyguard? Why were you were talking in that voice like that?
Yeah.
You were talking in your southern Canadian voice.
Yeah, I think I said something about like I'm just there to protect or something like that, and while I was twirling the dagger, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to remember that voice now, because Caden's done it in public, so he has to keep it up.
Yeah, I didn't realize I did it in front of the person who we're gonna have to travel with, so now I have to watch that episode before the next. I don't remember what it was.
Gotta be in character the whole time.
Caden.
He may just not talk much, maybe.
He was very talkative. Once Caden puts on a character, he's very talkative.
I think I suddenly have a lot of questions for him.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna very much use this.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Just as Claire and Caden were getting along.
Oh my goodness.
The family teams up on it.
Oh, I think Matt's in the chat.
Oh.
No, boo.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Matt. You can't watch
This
it.
is our show.
Yeah. Oh, there was a question for him though. Kind of. There was, how long is this campaign going till? In real time?
We can let him reply in the chat to that. And
if he's still there, we'll see if he may have just popped in for a moment.
We might have kicked him out.
True. We did just all tell him to fuck off, and then
I think I booed him. I think he expected it. I think that's fairly on.
Yeah. Boo! Wait, no, we have a question.
Yeah.
I did see a bunch of people talking about our episode 3, and there was a lot of chat saying like that they really enjoyed it as well. Just so that chat knows, we have discussed that because we enjoyed it as well, and I think our DM Matt enjoyed it as well. We've thought about perhaps the plan is to incorporate more of those in the future, maybe between when we gain levels, or just, when we have an opportunity to do a kind of a reflection on. It was unique enough, and everyone seemed to enjoy it, both us and the viewers, that we will probably do more of those in the future as well.
There are lunar interludes if you watch Taz.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah, we thought about doing one for this session, but we were afraid that we didn't have enough material to cover. So
This can be something we do like maybe every once in a while if you like it. We'll see.
End of major arcs sort of deal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or whenever our DM just bails on us randomly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm sure that's what it's going to come down to.
Matt, the question for you was how long was this is this campaign kind of planned for?
And time-wise, in terms of
Yes.
like 6 months, a year.
Yes. So yeah,
We can let him answer in chat.
Yes.
See if you heard it.
we should probably continue on though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
Let's just all sit here for 5 minutes in the read
I
chat.
think we're out of chat questions for us. Do we want to roll for some?
Sure.
Yes, I can't believe we're
Sure.
just finally now out of chat questions. That was so awesome, you guys.
I know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Herd got his out of the way
Yeah.
by
Oh.
asking Magda
Oh.
first and getting us started. So I think that means Scott, you're up.
All right, how does this work? So what am I doing? Am I doing a D?
So depending on the table you want, left side has 30, so you could do a D20 and a D10.
Okay.
And the other side has 100 if you just want character sort of questions.
Okay, can I ask someone else to roll for me because I only have brought a D20 with me?
So do you want a D100?
Which one do you want?
Sure. Surprise me. Surprise me.
Oh no. Okay.
I know you can
And
roll
then you can
in
choose-
Google.
I got a 27 on a D30.
Okay, perfect.
So
All right, let me copy that into the chat, and I will learn it, or the thing while everyone else does. If you had to eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be? So this is in like me, Scott, the player, as opposed to character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You can decide.
Okay. 100%. It would be a hot breakfast for every meal, all the time.
Oh.
I was
yeah.
just lamenting to my wife today. I was like, you know what I thought of on the drive home yesterday? I miss going out for breakfast. I was like, bacon,
Oh my God.
eggs, hash browns, pierogies, toast, yeah, I miss that. I could eat that for every meal of every day. I wouldn't live very long, but I could eat that for every meal of every day. That is my answer to that question.
I think last time we did that is Herd rolled, but then gave the question to somebody else. But then you
Oh.
rolled and you took the question.
Oops.
So do you...
I think we gave both as an option.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that
Or how
works.
about, do you want to, you answer it and ask one other person or something? So we can
Sure,
get through
yeah.
a bunch of questions. Okay. Then, because Ray brought it up, Ray.
Oh no, I didn't. That's not. That wasn't the plan. You guys. um. Okay. Well, breakfast is a great idea because every breakfast food is so wonderful, and I don't understand why they only let it be at breakfast time. But the other favorite food. This is gonna sound absolutely disgusting to everyone else. I'm so sorry. Probably. We'll see. I really like Alfredo with zucchini noodles. It's so good. Like normal noodles, don't even. I don't like them anymore. I discovered zucchini. It's my favorite thing ever. It's so good as a noodle. But the thing is, I add everything else in the world that's green to it. So it's like zucchini and spinach and broccoli and peas, and it's just not even Alfredo anymore. But it's so good to me. I'm like the child that would only eat vegetables instead of the rest of the stuff. I'm strange.
I feel like you answered the exact opposite of the meal I said.
But your version
Probably.
of breakfast is different than mine. Mine's like not pierogies. I've never had pierogies for breakfast, even though I know it's a Canadian thing. Surprisingly, I've never had it.
So do you do the spiralizer thingy with the zucchini? You have one of
I
those
have
little
this-
tools?
I have this awesome shredder that shreds it into like noodles, and it has a little smiley face on one side. It's adorable.
Stream's
that's
going to need to
the-
see it at some point.
I would go get it, but I'd be gone for too long. I'd be
Next
running
time.
up. Yeah. I'll bring it. I'll bring it as a prop to the next episode.
It's
This
a
is my
new
zucchini
inside
shredder.
joke for whoever's watching this one.
Yeah. Why
Start
does
the
she
next
have
stream.
I'm ready. Alrighty.
Well, while we were prepping games, we did one shots, getting to know each other and stuff like this, and we did have a character who had a bunch of pots and pans and stuff on them.
Mhm.
Actually,
That was your character.
Yes.
actually, and he was an enemy we faced too, because he died in the
It
one
was in the
shot.
lost episode.
The lost
Yeah,
episode.
the lost. Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Ray, you answered the question second, so why don't? Oh no, we're doing it by down order. So that would be
Initiative.
Yes,
Jackie.
it's Jackie next.
Jackie.
It's me. I'm gonna roll a d100. I got 70. So if I scroll down to 70,
all right. I'll copy 70.
Ooh. Ooh.
70. Oh no! I don't want to answer this question. What is your character's sexuality or relationship with sex? Clara.
You
Be
roll.
evasive.
Yeah, I think I said we subtract one, right? We subtract one.
Actually, 70 would be 71 because there's an empty cell at the top. So you did.
Don't
you could-
No, I'll answer. I can answer this
Oh,
question.
this is
It's
a good
fine.
one.
I just think it's hilarious.
This is hilarious.
I can answer and then I can pick someone.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clara's like a wee lass. She's like just out of her university and has this weird, complicated relationship with someone who should have been a lot more respectful of boundaries than he was, which is like certainly the dynamic that in her backstory, like it's the whole thing. But yeah, I think I had to like sit down and think about it because Matt asked me a question about like exactly how that relationship had progressed, and I was like, oh yeah, like have to actually think about what level that got taken to because it's kind of important. But I think she knows very little about what actually like she likes. Knows very little about like other people in general. So she has a list of questions for Magda eventually that she will one day have the bravery to ask because like she likes having knowledge. She understands that this is an area of life that she does not have a whole lot of knowledge about. But yeah, she's not uncomfortable with it, but certainly not. It's like when you have to be a know-it-all and you have to know things, and then realizing you don't know anything at all. There's a little bit of discomfort there. But yeah, I mean, Matt put in the schoolgirl outfit, though to be fair, didn't say who was wearing it. So, gonna leave that up to viewer interpretation for that. Yeah. Who am I gonna subject this question to?
I just gotta say, I think Magda's gonna have to do like just a session with all of the kids because our mom definitely never told us anything. Like,
Oh yeah.
like me and you and her, like we know nothing.
Yeah. Oh, the question from chat is whose idea was the schoolgirl outfit? You can blame Matt. That was Matt's idea entirely. He dropped that on me. Yeah. Because I certainly did not come up with that. Like it makes sense, but still. Who do I want to subject this question to? I think I have to do Magda. simply
Okay.
because I don't want to ask my siblings. I could change it up and say Caden.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It's up to you. I really don't have a preference.
Either will be very interesting.
Scott, do you want to answer this question, or I mean,
I'm letting Jackie decide who and
No,
where.
you
What's the
shouldn't
more
let me
interesting
decide.
answer?
I want to know Caden's because like Magda's the obvious choice. I now want to know Caden's because he was like her assistant, whatever, body man sort of deal, like the president.
Caden's relationship with Wow, should have been thinking about this while you were answering.
Yeah, you knew there was at least a 1 to 4 chance that I was going to ask you.
Yeah, it's true. So I would say, based on his backstory, which I won't go into, he's got a weird relationship, especially backstory, but as well, kind of the unfortunately, the episode 3 that was lost had some stuff that we went into with kind of different stuff that's happened in Magda and Caden's life that would be kind of make that complicated. The truth for Caden right now is he's never known anyone well enough to be able to define what his own sexuality would be like, essentially. Like, he's never been around enough people to be able to explore what that is. So there has been probably work or jobs or things that would have him kind of question what's going on with himself. I have to be vague, unfortunately, because there's some of it is backstory related things, but there's nothing at this point in time. He would be, what I would say is he'd be mostly inexperienced, except for what people might have called unhealthy situations or unique situations, for the most part. It's not a good answer, but it's just not clear, I suppose, is the best way to put it at this point.
I imagine as Jackie was answering that question, the rest of us players were all like thinking, shit, okay, what is our character into? And I'm super curious to hear, like, I see you, Ray, smiling. You're covering your mouth I'm super
Should this
curious.
just become a party question?
Sure.
Yes. I have
Okay.
decided now. Everyone answers.
Well, in terms of initiative, Hurt is first. So,
Yeah, super into tieflings. Something about like the devilness, it's right
The
up my
horns?
alley. It just makes me horny.
oh no. Is that
As heard, not me as a person. Gotta put that on
So is that the real answer?
What do you mean? Is that the real answer?
Did you just cancel her?
How does Herd feel about egg?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah.
You
okay.
forgot there's
You
a
just
tiefling.
put yourself into this.
Well, I just made this up, guys.
Thought you
stream, so it's canon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we'll explore that maybe next session.
She's not around us anymore.
Well, whenever we see her next. True.
Okay.
You were very interested
Herd
in
has a
that
lot of
treasure
thinking
hunt.
to do.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Clara?
You were very interested in that treasure hunt.
I was, wasn't I? I freed her from prison too. That was. I wouldn't
That's
have
a lot of bonding.
just done that for anyone,
Yeah, apparently you guys had a long talk when you were in there, learned about each other.
Yes.
I'd say
A
first
long
date.
talk.
Yeah.
Long sexual talk. Yep.
Oh no.
What have I got myself into? Okay, well
you did.
that's my turn.
One way of getting it over with.
Yeah. You see, what I was smiling because I've never considered. I'm sorry, I was looking at stream.
Oh my God, who's doing that? That's you, Scott.
So I haven't considered what Olivia prefers in a person, but I don't think Olivia's ever considered it because she's always had a bigger issue going on in her life, just like taking care of her siblings or getting money or working for her stepdad or getting like promotion in the watch. She's always had a bigger problem. She's not great with people, so she's never really had a strong relationship with someone other than like one person in her backstory, which is yet to be revealed. And then so yeah, no, I haven't. I think that is something that Ray doesn't know, and Olivia will be revealing when she gets the time. I think it's just one of those things that she's just too busy, and yeah, she's got to figure herself out first before she can figure out who she likes.
Ain't that the truth for everyone?
Yeah. Mama Magda.
I've got myself figured out.
Okay.
Tieflings.
Easy answer.
Those tails, you
Um,
just yeah.
The tails, the horn, the whole package. Just
Herd really inherited something very specific from his mother.
Yeah. Exotic
Mhm.
taste.
Okay, Magda. So Magda also has a slightly weird relationship with sex, as you can probably imagine. For sexuality, I would actually probably classify her as a lesbian. She has no dislike of men, but no real draw to them aside from her job. That said, there is a distinct separation between her sexual attraction and her romantic attraction. I would say that her romantic attraction is where she is a little lost, has never explored that side of herself, and doesn't really know what she likes.
Nice.
All
All
right.
right. Is it Jackie now for the question you roll? Or no?
No,
Was that,
Jackie
that was
rolled.
just you. That was
So-
just
Yeah,
what am I
that
thinking?
was just me.
I know what's
It's
been
Ray's
happening.
turn.
It's my turn. No, it's not. Okay. Let's see.
So you can choose person or character.
Okay. Well, that one was very interesting. Let's have another.
Another.
Alrighty. So do I go with the one that I rolled or the one right after the one that I rolled?
One right after, technically, because
Okay.
Technically.
So that's going to be 82
for
then.
reasons.
What does your character's name represent to them? Ah, okay. So, should I just answer this one or should I give it to somebody else? Or how does that?
I think you answer it and then you pick someone.
Okay, I'm very interested to hear everybody's answer for this one though, because I like names.
You can make it a whole party.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as normally when I pick a character name, I look up like the definition, like the name meaning and everything, and I go all into that and figure out all that stuff. For some reason with Olivia, I kind of just knew that was going to be her name though. She just seemed like an Olivia. With my other character on the other stream that I play in, plug, I thought a lot more about that one, and there was a lot more meaning behind that name, just with like how her backstory was set up and everything. And then with my character on the old stream as well, I thought a lot more about that. And then with other characters, this just seems like Olivia's like the only one that I didn't think about, which is like I feel bad that I didn't now because normally I do. But yeah, that's it. But I want to hear. Mostly, if I were to only ask one, I'd ask about Herd because it's very interesting. But I do want to hear about everybody.
Yeah. So Herd means power in Bugbear. I just made that up right now. But how I came across the name as a player was I asked myself if I wanted to spell out the sound that a Wookiee from Star Wars makes, like the Chewbacca. If I wanted to spell out that sound, how would I spell it out? And I spelled out and I thought it was hilarious, so I stuck with it. And I also really enjoy watching the rest of the party struggle with it. That's my answer.
If everybody else wants to answer as well.
Caden was a bunch of searching on different name generators and just trying it out and seeing. I'm furiously searching over here because I know I sent a bunch of ideas to my wife at one point, who makes awesome characters herself as a player of Dungeons and Dragons. And I wish I could find them because I was curious to tell you what the other possibilities were, the other the top three. I'll see if I can find them. But Caden, no last name, just kind of, when I heard it, I was like, yeah, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Clara is complicated. Also because when I originally named her, She had a multitude of names beforehand. I think the next top contender for her name was going to be Bree, but then it just didn't, like, as I was writing her history, I was like, just doesn't sit right. And so I landed on Clara, which is clear, bright, and famous, which is what it means. I actually meant to pronounce it Clara. Matt went with Clara, and I've just accepted it, which is why, if you notice, if you go back and watch episode 3, my dad, played by this guy, we had a conversation about it, and he does pronounce it Clara, because my sister's now a Brit, a Scot, so I'm a little. I think I had been talking to my niece, who has a very heavy accent, and so my brain went to that. But yeah, that's Clara.
So Magda, I definitely looked up what it meant at one point, but now I've forgotten. So I have a tendency to just like look at a character, slap a name on them, and be like, this is a temporary name, and then I never change it. Magda was like the one exception to that, because I threw a bunch of temporary names on her, and there's like all throughout my conversations with Matt and also Scott, like talking about character names, I'm like, her name is this.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, I'm like, no, sorry, her name is this. And nope, it's this now. And finally I settled, it just, none of them like felt like her or carried the right energy for her. That sounds very woo, but yeah. So, and then finally landed on Magda. Yeah, it's short for Magdalene.
That's nice. I guess we all kind of ended up.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna say we all kind of were just like, this is right. We just know that this one. Yeah.
Yep.
You mentioning what the name means reminded me. Oh yeah, what does it? And now I remember why of those 3 I ended up picking Caden, because I was working right from the beginning. Caden's backstory was tied in with Magda's backstory. So right before Magda's character was already created before I even knew what class or what character, like you had an idea of what your character was going to be. And Caden meant both companion and spirit of battle. And based on the character I was kind of going for, that worked. And that's why it won out over the other 2. I will find the other 2 at some point.
I looked up Olivia. It doesn't really have a meaning other than that it was used in a William Shakespeare play. That's it, from what I've seen. So that makes sense, I guess. No, true. All right, Magda's turn finally to roll.
Oh yeah, let me do that. 98.
Oh.
So I guess you go to 99?
-1.
No, wouldn't it be +1?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah, you're right.
101? Yeah.
Don't ask me math or situational questions.
Okay.
Not good at that.
So the question is, what advice would your character give to a younger version of themselves?
Ooh.
That's a really tough one.
Yeah, I think the advice she would give is be judicious when using a knife.
That's very interesting.
I like that.
Yes.
That is good.
Is it my turn?
I want to hear the whole party, so yes.
Oh, we're okay. I just thought that was the default now. Yeah. Advice to a younger version of myself would have to be watch out for Mike. I know that's stupid, but that's the only thing I could come up with. Mike was he's kind of like my arch nemesis. If you guys haven't seen all of the episodes or paying attention,
Mike.
He got me fired from the GTA.
Jaden?
That is tough. That is tough. There are so many different moments I think of that he would want to give advice on related to people, events, objects, and all of them come back to don't let go. That's what he would say.
Yeah. I think Claire's would have to be don't leave Olivia behind.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Like, she doesn't have a lot of regrets right now, but that's definitely a big one.
Oh man. I think her first thought would be start saving now, because money's an issue. If she really, really thought about it, I guess it would be don't cut ties, I guess. Because her life has been difficult, and it's as crazy as it is with everybody coming back. It's been more fun with everyone here than it has been with her being alone. So I think if she had had her brothers and sisters around her, it would have been much, much better. And all of her memories of her siblings in the past are all very positive, other than the one negative memory of someone leaving. I don't know who. But yeah, she's it's a lot of regrets as far as family goes as well. I think we all kind of made mistakes with that. That was a good question.
Was.
Yeah.
We got another chat question.
Okay.
One last chat question and then call it quits for the evening.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're about approaching our time.
That went so fast. I'm just enjoying talking to you guys.
I
Sorry.
know.
This has been very enlightening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our chat question is gameplay question. Favorite spell in the game?
Ooh.
Oh, that's tough for me personally. I don't know if you guys have any like burning favorite spells.
I do, for sure.
Why don't you go first?
Okay. My probably favorite spell it's not necessarily like the best mechanic spell, but for sheer like both as a DM and as a player, I like throwing it into the mix because of how strange things can get is Blink. It is both a really like usually you're playing a squishy caster, so like Blink is a really good way of getting out of something if you don't have Misty Step, but also like you are stepping in to another plane, and the amount of times I either as a DM have used that to reveal something that's been happening that they couldn't see, or it has been revealed to me that like, oh, there's like a whole other problem that we weren't aware of, has been really I very much like the flavor of what it can bring, more so than like, oh, I love using this spell because it does such great things in combat. That's not how I play casters.
I thought of mine. My favorite spell is Suggestion. It is literally the Jedi mind trick. Like, these are not the droids you're looking for. But one thing I don't like about the spell is that it doesn't require somatic components. It feels so right that it would require somatic components. I don't know. I think that's a miss, but still, like probably my favorite spell.
I keep thinking of two. I've not had a chance to play many casters, at all. Well, actually, very little, in just mostly in one shots. I have always wanted to play a necromancer with an undead army, and I had a chance for a one shot with an animate dead spell, where essentially we got to choose magical items, and mine was basically a bag of holding, because I just was shoving body parts in it every time we killed something. And then I could use as an action, he would let me basically push it inside out, drop all these body parts everywhere, and cast Animate Dead on a myriad. Yeah, it was so good. So at the end of every fight or anything, he would be just in the corner just scooping up body parts into his bag of holding. So I love Animate Dead. For this campaign, I love Eldritch Blast. Like, I really want to use Eldritch Blast all the time. I'm like, it's so great, so much power, so much range, so much everything, but I think I'm refusing to take it as a warlock, because we have two warlocks for one, and I don't want to be like the Eldritch Blast team. So it's going to make me a little sad, but I think for a cantrip, it would be Eldritch Blast. Otherwise, for a spell, it'd be Animate Dead, and whatever the Animate Dead spell is the name.
Oh, you already went, Jackie. As with all of these questions, I will not give a straight answer. I think I really like Phantasmal Force, because it's so interesting. You can just make anything, and then as long as the person is stupid enough at that moment, they believe it. And so, one of the favorite things about it is because nobody else sees it, so you're like over there casting something and everyone's like, what are you even helping, like? and then yeah, and it actually can do damage, which is so useful as well. But you don't even have to you don't have to do damage if you don't want to, so it can be a good spell, like for a social encounter as well, I guess, if you want to be weird about it or use it in a strange way. Like, it can be like used so weirdly. And then I just like the Mold Earth cantrip, because it's so useful for so many things.
What cantrip?
The Mold Earth.
Oh, Mold
Like,
Earth, yeah.
you don't think it's useful, but like you can, if you're doing a campaign outside, you can use it to like move things out of the way. If it's like something that's like, you could just move the earth around it. Like, I mean, if you did it well enough, you could technically like move a tree. If you move the earth that the tree is beside, like, it's got so many uses that aren't like, I like spells that have different ways to use them that you don't think about. Yeah.
I think my favorite spell is probably Confusion, because it's just so fucking chaotic. Just
Chaotic evil. It's been said now.
I love finding, like, getting a group of enemies and casting confusion on them and just watching what happens. My DMs always hate me for it, because they have to figure out what every single enemy does, and it's always different, and I just find it very entertaining. I don't have any more serious answer than that, unfortunately.
It's a good answer.
Watch out, Matt.
Oh man, that's it.
That it?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's about our time, and we got through, I think, all of chat questions that have been asked. We all got to roll, and we've been hanging out for solid 2.5 hours. So
That's some really good info out there.
yeah, this was really fun. Just having like a chill sesh, thinking about our characters some more, learning about some of our other party members some more. So thank you all for hanging out with us, and thank you so much for all the questions. This was fantastic.
Yeah.
We were a little worried, like, oh, who's gonna ask questions? And then bam, we started almost the entire thing with questions, which is awesome. Yeah, this really flew by. I think next week we're on track for same time, same channel, actual D&D. Fingers crossed.
Yay!
So
Oh,
we will.
Cat is typing.
Oh. So we will see you next week on the Dice Cult. If you want to catch up on any of our episodes, go over onto YouTube and you can watch along and catch up with where we are in our hunt for a serial killer in a forest. So yeah, smash that like button, hit that subscribe,
Oh, I always miss
and
it. Damn
here,
it.
here let's try one more time. Matt's not
All right.
here.
Okay.
So
all right, we got this.
Mm-hmm.
smash that like button. There you go. You all got it. And we will see you all next week.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.